And who are you again?
I'm Dr. Spencer Kagan.
Okay.
Or actually just his website today. I hope that's okay to channel that.
It is.
All right. So the reason I had to pick those is I'd like you to start working, find a partner with the same color fruit that you have. We're going to start there. So find a partner, find a seat with the same color fruit that you have. There's a couple different sets, so it's not purple. All right. Once you've done that, go ahead and have a seat. Okay. And today, again, we're talking about Dr. Spencer Kagan and his cooperative learning structures. So the key word there is structures. He earned his master's and PhD from UCLA in clinical psychology, and he studied cooperativeness and competitiveness in children in different cultures, and they were able to take the language component out of how they compared to students, and so that allowed them to compare students pre-language or children pre-language, different abilities that way. He worked from 1972 to 1989 in a variety of different universities, lecturing and as a professor in all different sorts of roles. And then in 1989, he became, he's been the corporate director of Kagan Publishing. He's written just one or two books. He's written a few chapters in books. Just 45 scientific articles in the last 20 years, which is a pretty big deal. And then as well, he's probably written millions of non-scientific articles for newspapers, magazines, and journals, and as well as his online magazine. And he also just trains one or two teachers a year when he has the time to get around to it. But what I'd like you to do with your partner is, we're going to practice this a little bit. First, the partner with the higher number on the back of their fruit is going to start, and they're going to talk for 20 seconds. You're going to share for 20 seconds your experience with cooperative education. Was it positive? Was it negative? Okay, and then after that, we're going to start, and we're going to do that again. And hopefully it loads. Maybe we won't. Oh, there we go. After that 20 seconds is up, we're going to switch roles, and you will be the lower number will share, and the higher number will listen. So go ahead. Okay, you could go ahead and go back and switch. Okay, great. Thanks. All right. So why structures? Why are we studying structures, and why aren't we studying strategies? Or what is cooperative learning? And cooperative learning is to get students to work together and to pair and share, rather than working one-on-one with the teacher one at a time. Okay. And structures. Why not strategies? Well, we hear the word strategies a lot. Well, if you think about the structure of a building, what do you think of? What pops into your head? Anyone? The foundation, or what it's like the iron that's built, and those are all the same across every building that's built. They all have the iron undergirding, right? Like the steel bars, the I-beams. We can do all the math we want, but it's not that fun. But then you go in and you fill in each different building. So, Kinlaw Library has the same undergirding as the chapel. What is the name of that?
Hughes?
Hughes, thank you. I've never visited it yet. That's nice.
We're going to have a field trip here soon.
But they have the same undergirding, but they have very different purposes and very different content. It's the same thing with structures that we teach in classes. It's the structures that we can use here, we can use in Spanish or chemistry or Latin or biology, whatever it is. It encourages students to cooperate rather than to compete with each other. And it seems like sort of a game with rules. Students grow up playing board games, and they're very familiar with what that is. So when you give them very specific Yeah.
So we got a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You can keep going, you're fine, or you can lose all this.
quick differences again between structure and strategy.
Structure is, strategy is based on the content. Structure is independent of content. The structure is what we just talked about. It's what Kagan does. You'll see it a little bit more. Strategy is what's traditionally done, and so you'll spend a lot of time preparing for, something in your math class. Like this only works with math, but structure, hopefully, you can take it in math. The same thing we're doing right here, you can take in math or French or English class. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So And then take turns listing, again, bouncing back and forth, some skills other than the content we might want to embed in our lesson. So something other than content that we might want to, as teachers, pass on to our students. What do we think is important to convey to the next generation of the young adults? by the way, this was published as the 5 most essential structures in Kagan's online magazine. That's where this is coming from. And then, okay, I want to try another one. Yes?
So these are 5 out of like his 150 structures.
Oh, yeah.
These are like the 5 best ones.
These are the 5 ones to start with, that are the easiest to start with, and we'll figure out what you're doing. So my hope, what we're going to do now, is we're going to do the next one, which is, what is that, the rally coaches. The name's not on them yet. So in new partners, I want you to find somebody else you haven't been with, and we're gonna practice the rally coach. And the way the rally coach works is one of you is gonna work through a process, and the other one's gonna encourage you and talk you through that, kind of like your coach. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna plan something that you can take into your classroom from one of these 5 structures that we've played with today. So we've already done 3. We're on number 4. So one of the first 3. What could you do with your content area? So take about 30 seconds. Find a new partner first. Then take about 30 seconds.
All right. So what are you going to do in your class?
So go ahead and take about 30 seconds and plan how you can apply this to your content area. And one of you is coach. The one of you that has the taller one is coach. The shorter one is not coach. The taller one. Okay, taller one, you're the coach the first time.
Get on it. Let's go.
So, I used to have my conversation one-on-one and then rotate around so he could go to the shoulder, like one or the middle, and then keep going circle around. But sometimes it's a lot of conversation. So if you're going to do an English, you actually do our sessions around Robin would have
Alright, switch roles, please. You can switch roles and the other person take the opportunity to plan something in their class.
Okay.
Alright, you can wrap it up and bring it back up here whenever you're ready. Here's some great coaching advice from Chad over there. Okay, so here, the partners take turns solving while the other coaches, while the other one coaches, and then you switch roles. This is great for procedures, particularly that have definitely right or wrong answers. Like, are you using a Kagan principle or are you not? Are you getting this math problem correct or you're not? Are you getting stoichiometry problem correct or not? You know, it's great for multi-step processes. Are you conjugating this verb in the past participle correctly or not? I usually am not. But okay, so then there's one more. We've done this before. Students stand up with their That's